We're going to deep dive into the collectively crushed soul of the degenerate trifecta in a segment we hate to call BetAches.
When a bet makes you sick and you make the wrong pick, it's a BetAche. It's a BetAche. It's a BetAche.
We're going to go over everything we did wrong this weekend, all the pitfalls of sports gambling and how they hit you hard this weekend. Let's start with you, Brother Brian.
I really don't even want to talk about it. It's really disgusting. So I had the Cowboys.
Say no more.
I had the Cowboys on like 6 or 7 different bets. But the crazy thing was I've fallen in love with these like 4-team, 13-point teasers. So I had the Cowboys getting 9.5, literally on 5 different bets. And I had a lot of money on it. So obviously in that game, it wasn't looking great at first, but they cut the lead to 3 with under 4 minutes left, right? But now Dak is driving the ball down the field. They have 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. All right, I'm like, all right, they're going to score. They're just going to give up an easy touchdown here. Cooper half-asses the route. The ball gets picked off. I am going crazy because literally now this is one of the biggest swings I've ever had in my gambling life in terms of if the Cowboys cover this 9.5, I am in great shape. And I am just praying to God, no interception. It gets picked off. I am just going crazy. I'm so disgusted. But God, they cost me so much money. And if they would have won that game, I would have won a ton of money.
All right, Parlay Kid. Yeah, that was terrible. We'll talk about the Cowboys later. What is your BetAche?
It just seems like lately when I'm doing these individual player props, we talked about the season-long injuries, but it's happening to me now during the games, right? There's been so many injuries. I had Eckler this week. I had Julio Jones last night to go over a certain amount of yards. Eckler to go over a certain amount of yards. Julio Jones, I don't think, made it out of the locker room after the first half. Eckler was out within a drive or two the other day, and it seems to be continually happening. I had McCaffrey a few weeks ago when he got hurt on a player prop. He was like 3 yards away from going over. He gets hurt. So we always talked about going unders, right, for these season-long player props, but it's almost starting to think that even in games should we be going under because of the amount of injuries, with the exception of maybe the quarterback props.
Yeah.
But it seems like these players, these running backs and receivers are going down like flies.
Yeah, be careful with the player. Try not to pick guys who are going to get injured, I think, is what the Parlay Kid is saying. All right, Harry, hit us with your BetAche on a NASCAR race that no one listening cared about.
The NASCAR race on Sunday, I was really confident too about this 3-team parlay that I did have, and you know, obviously I'm watching the football games and whatever, and I just figured, all right, the race is 25 laps in probably. I'll take a look and just see what the leaderboard is, and they're going through the leaderboard, and I've got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at minus 130, on a matchup against Kyle Busch, and I'm looking and I'm like, where is Stenhouse? Where is Stenhouse? This race is 25 laps in. I see the very end. He's already wrecked. I mean, honestly, wrecked, and he's actually good at Talladega. Your buddy Todd Furman warned me about Talladega, says he never bets it because anything can happen. I look at first 25 laps in, and he's already done for the race. But also, I had the Dolphins on 3 parlays, plus 7.5. And I know Todd mentioned this yesterday, too, on your show, Fox Bet Live. But honestly, when you're at home, Seattle has the ball to 37 with 19 seconds left. Can you give up a field goal? Sure you can. But you can't give up a touchdown. And they give up the touchdown, and plus 7.5, they lose by 8.
That's more like it, Harry. Not about cars wrecking. That, you know, like we get it. Cars wreck at NASCAR. It happens. BetAches was brought to you by PropSwap, our friends at PropSwap, where America buys and sells sports bets. Smart sports bettors always know where to find the best odds before placing a bet, and that's why smart bettors use PropSwap.